Hey, how you doing? You want to watch a Pokemon One Piece crossover video? Because here it is. Okay, let's do this. Hi everybody, Tekking here. I'm filming this on a whim right now. This was not something that was planned. It's late at night. Okay, I gotta take you through like the last 2.5, maybe 2 hours 45 minutes that have been going on. Okay, so I was reading through the comment section of my videos, which I often do, right? And I was looking at the comments for the SBS video I did a few days back, SBS volume 104. Okay, in that SBS, Oda revealed the hobbies of the Tobi Roppo on Kaido's crew, okay? And it listed DS Drake's hobbies as astrophysics, oddly enough, but it also listed it as he's a reptile maniac. And I made the joke that, reptile maniac, that sounds like a trainer class in Pokemon or something, right? Like, you've been challenged by reptile maniac Drake, and he uses like a bunch of like dragon types or something. And I thought it was a cool idea, like, what team would Drake have? Like, if he was a gym leader, in a Pokemon game, what would his team be of 6 Pokemon? So I threw it out there to the comment section. I'm just like, yeah, go ahead and let me know what Drake's team would be. And people really took to it. There were a lot of people that were having a lot of fun coming up with ideas on what Drake's team would be, and a lot of them shared like a common, obviously a dinosaur theme, because he has the ancient Ryu no Mi. He can turn into an Allosaur, so it's like, oh, that was like the general vibe. But I was looking through that comments, and I was reading all of them, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to do this. So I opened up like a notepad document and I started, working on Drake's team. And it took about maybe 15, 20 minutes. I was taking suggestions from the chat, all these different team ideas for Drake. And so, after about 15, 20 minutes, I had a solid list of Drake's team. And I thought, well, since I've gone this far and I made a whole team for Drake, let's make a team for all of the Tobi Roppo, right? And so I did. And so Black Maria, Who's Who, Sasaki, Ulti, and Page 1. That took me about another hour on top of that or so. I'm like making all these teams, and I finally got all those done right here. And in typical Forrest Gump fashion, I thought, well, I figure since I gone this far, maybe I might as well just go make the video. So I come down here, I turned everything off in my office earlier, so I turned everything back on, and I'm like, all right, well, if I'm doing a Pokemon video, I guess I got to start looking for everything. So I'm digging out all my Pokemon stuff. Took me like I was looking for the badges. I have 2 badges. I'm very proud of my 2 badges. I have Morty's badge and I have Bugsy's badge. I didn't even really deserve the Morty one. He just felt bad for me because I kept falling into the darkness, and like, after about the 100th time, he's like, you know what, kid, just take it, But anyway, I earned the one from Bugsy, though. I earned that one, all right? So yeah, that took me about another half hour to dig around for everything, and so here we are. Here we are. It's late at night, and we're doing this. And also, this was completely unrelated, but as I was setting everything up, I remembered that Pokemon Violet and Scarlet are going to be coming out soon, and I thought, oh, wow, okay, that's topical. That wasn't the reason why I'm doing this, but here we are. We got all my Pokemon stuff back here. Oh, I have this. I promised I would show this after it was completed. This is the, not the Lego, but the Mega Constructs, or however you say it, build for Squirtle, Wartortle, and Blastoise. And I have the base done. I got the base done. It actually folds out like this, and it's pretty cool. So I have that back here. I also have this amazing Porygon plush, like crocheted plush, that was sent to me by Natalie. So I wanted to thank Natalie. I haven't gotten to the fan mail yet, but I wanted to showcase this off in the video because I love Porygon. As you can see, this is a Porygon shirt I bought at Anime Expo. This is really cool. Rustage, we went to this like one shop, this one stand at Anime Expo, and Rustage bought a shirt, I think that had Wooper on it, and I saw one with Porygon, and I just lost mine. I was like, oh my god, I have to have that. So here we go, we have that. And also, we have these. Does anybody remember these? This is interesting. This is, yeah, it's a Burger King promotion with a gold-plated Pokemon card. Now, these, I had about 3 of these when I was a kid. These are not one of them. I never had a Poliwhirl one. I actually bought this off of eBay, and it wasn't that much money. If you are nostalgic for these, if you remember getting these from Burger King back in the day, back in the late 90s when Pokemania was, like, at its height, you could probably go to eBay, and I only got this for, like 20 bucks, like, with shipping. And you got Charizard, Pikachu, Jigglypuff, Poliwhirl, Mewtwo, and Togepi. So, yeah, this is just a nice little blast from the past that I wanted to have, because I had some, but I lost them over the years. So, yeah, that's what we're doing today, though. We're going to be looking through all of Tobi Roppo. Now, I want to preface this by saying a couple of things. Number one, I am not a competitive Pokemon player. However, I would actually suggest that if you are a competitive Pokemon player, to pay attention to this video, or if you know a competitive Pokemon player, get them to watch this video, because all these teams I came up with probably suck, okay? They probably suck hard, but the question is, which one out of these 6 teams is the best like being competitively viable, okay? And who knows, maybe I accidentally created a team that's like really competitively viable, okay? So that's that. So if you are like, not even like if you're competitive, like you've played in tournaments or whatever, but if you just know a lot about Pokemon, let me know in the comments down below, because I'm actually really interested. The other thing is, there were 2 rules that I followed with this. One was no legendaries, because I feel like that would be too, I would like give everybody a legendary, you know? It's like, oh yeah, Drake deserves Deoxys for some reason, I can justify, here you go. So no legendaries. And the other rule was I cannot duplicate Pokemon, okay? So I can't give, like, okay, I gave Tyrantrum to Drake because he's an Allosaur. I could not give Tyrantrum to anybody else, okay? One last caveat before we really dive into it. Not super familiar with Pokemon past Gen 5. I don't know that much about Gen 6 or 7 or 8. I've played those games, but wait a second, are we even up to Gen 8? Yeah, we're up to Gen 8. Gen 8 was Galar, right? Yeah, okay, so I played Sword and Shield, so I'm up to that generation, but I've played all those games, but I don't remember the Pokemon from those games as much, okay? So I used Bulbapedia for most of this, looking through the types and everything like that, so there's some Pokemon on here I really don't remember all that well, but I try to include stuff from all the generations, okay? All right, so with that being said, let's kick this off. Let's start with the person that started all of this. Let's start with Reptile Maniac Diaz Drake, okay? So because he's a secret agent, I saw a lot of people recommending a Pokemon that I did not remember at all, and that was Inteleon, okay? Inteleon is a water type that is literally called the secret agent Pokemon. Don't remember this Pokemon at all, but secret agent Pokemon literally has to, that's perfect for Drake, right? He's a secret agent for Sword, working undercover on the Beast Pirates as a Yonko, fleet, trying to like figure out what's going on and relaying information back to the Marines. So absolutely makes perfect sense. Then we have Tyrantrum. So Tyrantrum is obviously a reference to the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Now, Drake is not a Tyrannosaurus Rex. He's an Allosaur, which I find interesting that, Oda did not include probably the single most famous dinosaur on the entire planet, pretty much because of Jurassic Park. Like, everybody loves the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Everybody loves the T-Rex. I'm actually kind of happy, though, that Oda didn't, because then he spotlighted other dinosaurs that are not as wildly known, okay? We might still get a T-Rex zone. I mean, who knows? But for right now, we don't have one. But I figured, okay, Tyrantrum is probably the closest, so there we go. Tyrantrum being rock and dragon, all right? So that was, like, playing with that with Drake, it was like, should it be more, like a lot of fossil Pokemon are represented on this list, as you can imagine, because all the Tobi Roppo have ancient zones, so for that reason, a lot of fossils. That's Tyrantrum. Then next up, we have Aegislash. Aegislash, once again, is a no-brainer for Drake. Some of these were really simple. Drake was actually not that hard to come up with a list for. Aegislash being a sword, and it's a steel type, which that's my favorite type, steel and ghost. So we don't have that many ghost types on this list. I think out of all the teams, we only have like 3 Pokemon. Actually, I think only 2 that actually are ghost type, okay? But Aegislash being an animated sword has to be the guy that's in Sword, okay? Next up, we have, okay, so I saw a lot of people mentioning Tyranitar, like, oh, Drake has to have Tyranitar. But then I also saw a lot of hype for Haxorus, okay? And I'm thinking, all right, Tyranitar is awesome, and I love Gen 2, okay? Larvitar line is great, but I gotta go with Haxorus for Drake, because he literally uses like a 4-bladed axe, like a maul kind of, not a glaive. It's like a maul, but it's an axe, but it's a club with like blades on it, okay? A 4-bladed axe. And Haxorus's face is literally an axe. So I had to go with Haxorus for him, okay? So we got Inteleon, we got Tyrantrum, Aegislash, Haxorus. I also had Crocodile on there. Crocodile, just kind of going along with the reptile theme. I figured because he was titled as a reptile maniac, there has to be at least a few more reptiles on there. So we have Tyrantrum and we have Crocodile. I'm like, that fits. Also, Inteleon is sort of like, I don't know if Inteleon, technically speaking, is based off of a reptile. Kind of looks like he is, so I'll go with that. So that's 3 possible reptiles on his team, 2 for sure, 1 I'm not 100% sure of. That works. And then I guess Haxorus is a dragon, which are related to dinosaurs, which could be reptiles, so there you go, sure, why not? And then for the last Pokemon on Drake's team, I went with, because it was also revealed that he's interested in astrophysics, I was like, okay, let's pick a Pokemon that has something to deal with space. And in that regard, I really wanted to go with Cosmog's line, and then I looked it up, and Cosmog, I couldn't remember, but Cosmog is a legendary Pokemon, so I was like, darn it. So, okay, I'm not going to go with Cosmog. Let's go with just the old, trusty, old, reliable Solrock. The Pokemon that's a rock, but's also the sun. And astrophysics is the study of, like, what makes up different, like, celestial objects. I could have gone with Lunatone as well, but I figured, you know, the sun would be even more mysterious in the One Piece world. You know, people, like, learning, like, what is the sun made of? This perpetual flame in the middle of space. And so I imagine Drake would be, you know, curious about the moon, but probably also curious about the sun as well, maybe even more so. So I went with Solrock. Okay, so that's Drake's team. Inteleon, Crocodile, Tyrantrum, Aegislash, Solrock, Haxorus. All right? Probably not competitively good, but I don't know, so let me know. All right, next up, we have probably the most least developed out of all of the Tobi Roppo in the entire Wano arc. We have Sasaki. Sasaki didn't have much going for him, all right? His fight was fun because I liked Frankie, but, you know, in terms of personality, backstory, didn't really learn much about him at all, okay? But anyway, Sasaki's thing was he was part of the Armored Corps, and he could turn, his Ancient Zone was a Triceratops. Now, unfortunately, there is not a Triceratops Pokemon. I don't think Bastodon is a Triceratops. I don't think he's supposed to be, because there were a lot of Pokemon that were, I mean, there were a lot of dinosaurs that had, like, that kind of, like, shield on their face. There was one, I think, called the Pentasaur that had like a 5-pointed one. So, you know, the Triceratops is the most famous out of that group, but there were a lot of other ones that had that shield on their face with like horns sticking out, okay? And I think Bastodon is based off of another one of those. But anyway, had to go with that one, and I also went with a general high defense stat theme when it came to Sasaki's team, okay? So, we have Bastodon, we have Rock and Steel, a lot of Steel types, a lot of Ground types. Going along with that vein, we have Rhyperior. Rhyperior knows Horn Drill, and so Sasaki has that sword that turns into a drill that you can, like, stab people with, okay? And that's, like, one of his most devastating attacks is to, like, stab them while he's spinning. So I thought, okay, I need a Pokemon with Horn Drill on here. Rhyperior is this armored-out kind of dude. He's just like, yeah, I'm made of rock, I'm tough, and I know Horn Drill, awesome. Also, Aggron. I feel like Aggron would be the ace Pokemon. You know, that would be the key Pokemon when it comes to Sasaki. Also, I think, I'm not sure about Drake's team, but I'm pretty sure every other team has a Pokemon, or at least maybe even 2 or 3, that can Mega Evolve. So I know Aggron can Mega Evolve. I think that's the only Pokemon on Sasaki's team that can Mega. I don't know. Can Haxorus Mega? I feel like Haxorus can Mega. If it can, there you go. But if it can't, then what it is what it is. But anyway, yeah, so Aggron, though, I feel like that would be the last, like, highest level Pokemon in Sasaki's repertoire there, and then you can Mega Evolve that, and there you go with the Aggron, Steel and Rock. Then we have Torterra. Threw a Grass type in there to sort of just balance it out. Also, Sasaki has green hair, so that got me thinking about, like, okay, and, you know, that was actually a lot of things with the Tobi Roppo. Same thing with Ulti. Ulti has blue and pink hair, so I was thinking, like, what Pokemon has blue and pink as their main color palette? And no, I did not give Ulti Porygon because I didn't think it would make sense, but I did consider it. I had to put my own bias aside for that one. But Sasaki had green hair, so I'm like, okay, let's throw a grass type on there. What grass type has really good defense? Torterra's a turtle. Also has a tree growing out of its shell, and Sasaki was tied to the sacred tree during Onigashima. So you saw I was trying to make something connect. We just don't know that much about Sasaki, so I was like, okay, he was tied to a tree, armored core. Yeah, Torterra, sure, why not? Next up, we had Gliscor, ground flying type. I put Gliscor on there just because Sasaki can fly using the frills of his neck, as, of course, we all know that Triceratops back in the Cretaceous period could fly by spinning their frills like a helicopter, right? You know, they were the first animal capable, I mean, the first, you know, reptile capable of flight. I don't even know if that's true, because I think some reptiles can fly anyway, but not like, well, technically birds are reptiles. Okay, I'm getting off on the topic here, okay? Point is, we know Triceratops could fly, right? So I had to have a flying type on there. almost went with Skarmory, because Skarmory, flying type that's also steel, that also has the sword, you know, kind of like the idea there. But I don't know, for whatever reason, I like Gliscor more, so I went with him. And then finally, we have B-Sharp. Okay, B-Sharp, Bisharp. Okay, we have Bisharp. Steel dark type, okay, because just a lot more with the blades that Sasaki uses. Kind of repetition here at some point, but, you know. So, yeah, Sasaki team. Bastodon, Bisharp, Gliscor, Aggron, Rhyperior, and Torterra. So there you go. I also realized Aggron can Mega Evolve, but in competitions, I know you're not allowed to use legendary Pokemon in like competitive Pokemon battles. Are you allowed to Mega Evolve in competitive Pokemon battles? I feel like you wouldn't be able to do that, or Gigantamax or anything like that in like a competitive setting. Maybe you can. I know nothing about that. So there's the situation there. That's with Sasaki's team. All right, moving on to Who's Who's team. Who's Who's was actually very, very easy to make, okay, because he runs the cat cafe, the Neko Cafe. We got a bunch of like sexy cat ladies and dudes wearing cat ears and stuff hanging around his domain on the 4th floor of Kaido's Manor. So I thought, okay, let's just have them all be cats. Pretty simple. There's a lot of cat Pokemon. There's no shortage. So let's go through it. First and foremost, we got Incineroar. All right, Incineroar is pretty nice. Fire, dark type. I think that fits perfectly. Then I thought of Persian, of course, but then there's also the Alolan variety of Persian. So I decided to go with the Alolan version. I thought about it for a while. Arguably, I think like normal types are not that bad because like they actually are probably like they're not that. Like, there's not that many weaknesses to them. There's fighting, and I think that's it. So maybe the regular Persian might be better for this, but I went with the Alolan Persian. You know, let me know. Luxray. Obviously, Luxray is an electric kitty cat. I don't think we had any electric types on this list up until now, so he's the first electric type. Then we have Meowstic, who I do not remember at all. It's Mystic and Meow, so Meowstic. But anyway, yeah, so Meowstic, also a cat that's psychic, makes sense. Almost went with Espeon, because Espeon's kind of like... But I went with Meowstic. Purugly, also just a regular normal type. I was honestly, I was debating between putting Meowstic on here or putting Delcatty from Gen 3. Because I was thinking, having normal types, it's normal. It's kind of boring, but, like, it might be more effective, but whatever. So Purugly is the only just straight-up normal cat on this list. And the last one I have on here, okay, so... I put Sprigatito on here because Sprigatito is the grass starter for the new Pokemon games, Scarlet and Violet, coming out in a couple of weeks. And Sprigatito is a grass cat, okay? A cat made of grass, as it were. We do not know about the other evolutions of Sprigatito, though. So I assume the final evolution will be dual-typed grass and something else, but maybe not. Might just be pure grass. So I put Sprigatito on here as a placeholder. This would be the final evolved form of Sprigatito when we find out what that is. So I guess we'll see. But that's Who's Who's team. In Incineroar, Persian, the Alolan version, Luxray, Meowstic, Purugly, and Sprigatito's final evolved form, whatever that'll be. Okay, next up is Black Maria. Much like with Who's Who, I thought, like, spiders, right? Okay, because Black Maria has the Ancient Zone, the Spider Fruit, Ancient Model, Rosamagalia Gravigelli. That's a fun word to say, Rosamagalia Gravigelli. Ancient Spider from the Triassic period. Fun fact, I got a text message. Other fun fact, Black Maria's Devil Fruit is the most ancient out of all of the ancient zones. So we go all the way back to the Triassic period. That's well before all the most famous dinosaurs like the Allosaur and the Triceratops. I think the most recent out of the ancient zones would be either the saber-toothed tiger, which I'm surprised that there's no Pokemon based off the saber-toothed cats. Some cats get close, but I don't think there's any that are like directly referenced off of that. So that's fertile ground right there for a new fossil Pokemon, right? And then also Jack can turn into a mammoth. So I think it actually might be the mammoth, because there were still mammoths on this planet up until like when the pyramids were still being built, like around 2500 BC, so like 4,000 something years ago, there were still mammoths on a tiny little island called Wrangel Island north of Russia. There weren't that many left, but they were still there, okay? So that just gives you an idea there. So I think mammoths, Jack has the most recent ancient zone. Black Maria has the most ancient out of all of them. But anyway, spiders, right? So let's knock out all the spider Pokemon. We got Arados, bug poison. We got Galvantula, bug electric. And we also have one... Didn't even know that this thing existed. Araquanid. Araquanid. It's a combination of aqua and arachnid. So Araquanid, bug and water. Didn't know that those existed. I guess I also could have put Surskit on there, but Surskit or whatever Surskit evolves into. It starts with an M. I can't remember. Somebody will let me know. But that's not really a spider at that point. You know what I mean? It's more of a moth at that point, a flying Pokemon. Anyway, so those were the 3 spiders. Pretty easy there. We got a bug poison, bug water, and bug electric. And congratulations, those are all weak. Well, okay, wait a second. Bug is weak to fire, right? And also flying. But when it comes to bug water, Araquanid would not be weak to fire. Probably still weak to flying, but I don't know if that's... All right, well, whatever. We'll take it what we can get. We also have Mawile. I put Mawile on there. Steel and Psychic. Mawile, I believe, is the Deception Pokemon. Black Maria's kind of thing is like, you know, what we saw, what she did with Sanji. Like, she lured Sanji into the spider's web, so to speak, and then captured him, so Mawile might make sense. Mawile's also capable of Mega Evolving. I also just think, I don't think anybody on Who's team can Mega Evolve either. Can Luxray Mega Evolve? Luxray might be able to. Anyway, so we have Mawile there, and then we needed some fire types, because, something that she does is she has that staff that looks like a Wanyudo at the end, and so I was thinking, were there any Pokemon based off of a Wanyudo? And unfortunately, I couldn't find any, so I instead went with Chandelure, which is a fire ghost, or a ghost fire, I should say. So there wasn't anything directly off of the yokai of a Wanyudo, but like, okay, Chandelure is a ghost, so ghostly, yokai, kind of the same things, these sort of demons, and so it also can create fire, so I thought that works pretty good. And then I was kind of hard-pressed to try to find a last Pokemon for Black Maria, but I think I found the perfect one. I found another fire type that's also poison, which makes sense because she lures people into her web and she poisons them. We have bug types that know poison moves as well, but I thought having at least one poison Pokemon on this list would make sense. And so I found a Pokemon whose gender ratio is always, you know, female, poison fire, Salazzle. I don't remember this Pokemon at all. Well, maybe vaguely, I remember. Was this Pokemon in, was this in the ones that just came out? Was this Sword and Shield, like Gen 8? Maybe? I don't know. Anyway, Salazzle, I thought, I was reading up on that Pokemon. I'm thinking, I think fire, poison, Black Maria uses the fire ability, and she's, like, kind of poisonous, venomous, so to speak, you know, and she has webs, and I think these 6 Pokemon work great. So Ariados, Araquanid, Galvantula, Salazzle, Mawile, and Chandelure. Great. Okay. And then finally, we have the last 2 remaining Tobi Roppo, brother and sister. We have Ulti, we have page 1. Let's go through Ulti's first, okay? So obviously, Ulti can transform into a Pachycephalosaurus. That makes things pretty easy. Obviously, Rampardos has to be the first Pokemon on this list. The fossil Pokemon literally based off of a Pachycephalosaurus. So Pachycephalosaurus Rampardos is simply a rock type. And then we have, okay, so this was kind of fun. Ulti's was probably the one I had the most fun with, okay? So, and it kind of worked out a lot better even by accident, all right? So, because she headbutts everybody, and obviously Rampardos, I'm assuming, can know Skull Bash. It would be weird if it couldn't. I was thinking of other Pokemon that know Skull Bash, right? So I'm thinking, okay, Blastoise came to mind right away, and was actually on the list in its first draft, but I changed it out. We also have... Primeape. So Primeape can learn Skull Bash, and Sharpedo can learn Skull Bash, okay? So Primeape is also this very angry kind of fighting Pokemon, which is also perfect when it comes to Ulti's personality. She spends like 95% of the arc uber pissed off at, like, everybody, okay? The enemy, her own brother, even Kaido. She was like, I think Kaido's an idiot at one point, so she spends most of it very peeved. So I'm thinking having a Primeape, like, imagine Ulti throwing out a Primeape, and the Primeape gets like, ooh, Primeape! Oh, pissed off, and then Ulti's like, yeah, Primeape, let's wreck some shit! You know, like, so I can see Primeape, and Primeape can also learn Skull Bash, which is great. On top of that, we have Sharpedo. Now, this will make more sense when we get to page 1, okay? But just to suffice it to say, Sharpedo is another Pokemon, can Mega Evolve, and it can also learn Skull Bash. Also, a shark, Ulti having a shark, that kind of makes sense too. So then after that, I went with, well, okay, Ulti, you know, she's pretty hot, you know? So when you think hot and you think Pokemon, finish the sentence for me, go ahead. It won't take long. There's 2 options I think you're immediately going to jump to. I'm going to go with the safe bet and say Gardevoir. Probably Lopunny is the other one. But yeah, Gardevoir. It's Gardevoir, isn't it, Tekking? Yeah, it's Gardevoir. Okay, we got a Psychic and Fairy. Think it works, though. It will also make sense when we get to page 1. Ulti and page 1's team sort of complement each other. You'll see what I mean in a second. So we got Rampardos, Primeape, Sharpedo, Gardevoir. We have 2 left. This is where I got to, like, I was really starting to run out of ideas at this point for Ulti, but I was like, okay, her hair is blue and, like, hot pink, so I was looking for Pokemon that were blue and pink. Porygon came up immediately, but I'm like, I don't think it really makes sense for her. But then I found another Pokemon named Hatchram, all right? Hatchram, don't remember this Pokemon at all, but it's psychic, and it's also blue and pink. And I'm thinking, that works very aesthetically, but then also I saw that it was the Serene Pokemon, and I'm thinking, well, wait a second, hold on. Because when you think of Ulti, you don't necessarily think of Serene. However, she kind of has both sides, where she spends a lot of the arc very pissed off, but then the remaining time when she's not pissed off, she's actually pretty nice. You know, she's very, very nice. Like, overtly so, too much so, like, clingy so to page 1. She's like, I missed you so much, Pepe. So I wouldn't call it Serene, but I think having a Hatchram and a Primeape on the team kind of works for her personality. So I'm going to go with that. And then finally we had the last Pokemon, and I was like kind of hard-pressed here. Blastoise also made the cut, but I'm like, Sharpedo's already water. You know, do we need another water type? I decided there were no ice types yet. I think, in fact, the only ice type, no, page 1 has one too, but so that's the only other ice type, though. So I went with Avalugg. Avalugg, is that how you say it? Avalugg! And Avalugg, pure ice type, but it can also learn Skull Bash. So I'm just like, you know what? Headbutt and Skull Bash are going to be a running theme, because that's basically what Ulti does the entire arc. That's her thing. She turns into a Pachycephalosaurus and she rams you with her head, okay? Headbutt, Skull Bash, that's the name of the game when it comes to Ulti, all right? So her team, once again, is Rampardos, Hatchram, Primeape, Sharpedo, Gardevoir, and Avalugg. There we go. And then finally, the last member of the Tobi Roppo, we have Page 1, the youngest member and the brother to Ulti. So, okay. First off, we are leading with Garchomp on this one. Now, page 1 can turn into a Spinosaur. There are no Pokemon directly based off of a Spinosaur. The closest one is probably Tyrantrum. However, you know, Drake already has Tyrantrum, and I didn't want to, you know, copy. I didn't want to, you know, repeat. Thought about using Tyranitar for Drake. For a page 1, but I thought Garchomp works. You know, Garchomp is a really cool Pokemon, and it has the fins kind of like the Spinosaur does, like the fin on the back, and I thought it worked enough. And also, it's complementary to Ulti, because I don't know about you, but I always assumed there was a connection between Garchomp and Sharpedo. Their heads look exactly the same to me. It has the same mark. They're both shark-esque. You know, obviously Garchomp is dragon ground and Sharpedo is water dark, but I just thought, like, there has to be some connection between Garchomp and Sharpedo. To my knowledge, there isn't, but their heads look very similar. So I thought, okay, Ulti, I even thought of an idea of having Ulti have a Garchomp as well. You know, kind of like, you know, oh, my little brother Pepe has a Garchomp. I'm going to have a Garchomp too, because I'm his big sis. So I didn't want to repeat those. So I'm like, okay, let's say page 1 has a Garchomp as his ace Pokemon. Ulti would have a Sharpedo because they look similar enough. And I'm thinking, okay, that's like her homage to page 1. So that's it. Also, Kingdra. Kingdra is a water dragon. I went with a dragon theme with page 1 for the most part. So page 1 is a Spinosaur, and we also find out that the Spinosaur could actually swim. There was like recent archaeological evidence that they had like a gill, like a fin on their tail, so they could actually swim really well. To the point when this information was found out, Oda actually changed the design of page 1. So page 1 didn't have like a fin on his tail when he first showed up, and then later on he does, and that's the reason why this new finding that was discovered about the Spinosaur in real life. Okay, so because of that reason, I was thinking, okay, what about a dragon that can swim? So a water dragon Pokemon led me immediately to Kingdra. So there we go. Then we have Gyarados. I just felt like, because it was mentioned that page 1's hobby is fishing. He likes to be alone, so fishing, and I'm thinking, okay, I could see page 1 like fishing up a Magikarp and then raising the Magikarp into a Gyarados, and then there you go. Also, Gyarados can Mega Evolve. Actually, I think page 1's team might be, like, I think it has, like, 3 Pokemon that can Mega Evolve, actually. Can Garchomp Mega Evolve? I feel like it can, okay. So that's Garchomp, Kingdra, Gyarados, then Gallade. So the male version, the evolution of Kirlia, so the other one being, you know, Gardevoir. I figure brother, sister, Ulti having a Gardevoir, Page 1 having a Gallade. I thought that worked, because despite the fact that Page 1 is very highly annoyed by Ulti, they're still siblings. They still do, you know, they love each other and everything like that. You know, obviously, if Ulti were to get dropped, Page 1's not going to be like, yes! Finally! No, she shuts up, finally! No, if Ulti got defeated, and they work very well together, you see that when they, you know, fought against Nami and Usopp, if Ulti were to get dropped, Page 1 would be just as pissed. Like, if Ulti was the one that got one-shotted by Big Mom, Page 1 would probably be like, roar, and attack her too, right? Okay, that would probably be how it goes. So, Gallade and Gardevoir makes sense. Then we have Abomasnow, all right? And Abomasnow, I gotta be honest with you, I went with him immediately just because Abomasnow's color scheme is green and white, and Page 1 has green and white for his color scheme as well. And so I'm thinking, all right, that, whatever, sure, why not? Same thing with Ulti. But then I delved into Abomasnow's, like, lore and, like, the Pokedex entries, and it actually specifically mentions Abomasnows like to be alone. They like to live a solitary lifestyle. And I'm like, holy crap, that fits so well for Page 1, who's like, he just likes alone time. He just likes being alone away from his sister to kind of relax and, you know, clear his head every once in a while. So I'm like, that works perfectly. Abomasnow, Gyarados, and maybe Garchomp can all Mega Evolve. I'm not sure on Garchomp, but I know for a fact Gyarados and Abomasnow can Mega Evolve. So that's it. Okay, so finally we get to the last Pokemon for Page 1 and the last Pokemon on this list. And I was kind of out of ideas. So I went back to the fishing thing, because that's like all we got. I'm like, okay, he likes to fish. All right, so let's say he's out fishing one day, and he fishes up a water-type Pokemon or something that is living in the water, okay? So I went through all the options, and I'm like, man, this list is really lacking a lot of types, and one type that it's lacking is electric types. We only have Luxray for Who's Who. Galvantula is a dual electric type, and Bug. But there's no other electric type. So I'm thinking, okay, electric water type. There's, hold on. I know the name of it. Okay, I need to pause it right there. I need to forewarn all of you about what is about to happen. You are about to enter hell, okay? So, I'm going to put a time code up on the screen right now, all right? You can go and skip to that point in the video to avoid hell if you wish. I'm also going to set a chapter on the video that you can very easily see at the bottom of the little scrub bar, and you could skip over the chapter, and that will also avoid hell. If you continue watching from this point in the video, it's going to be rough. Let me just tell you, all right? I'm not going to... You know what? You're just going to have to see for yourself. If you're bored, if you have nothing else going on, then continue watching. And if you do not value your free time in the slightest, keep watching all the way through. If not, I reiterate once again, skip to this time code. I'm going to leave it up the entire time. Or skip to the next chapter in the video. All right. You have been warned. I will now resume the video. I'm serious, though. Like, this is your last chance. You don't have to watch what this is. Like, seriously. If you have anything else going on in your life right now, and I'm not even saying, like, something important, like you have a dinner date or something. I mean, like, if you haven't, like, washed the dishes yet, or take your dog out to go to the bathroom, or take the garbage out, like, anything going on right now. Seriously. Like, look around. I want you to take a moment and just look around the room you're in right now and think to yourself, like, is there anything that I could be doing right now that would be better use of my time than the hell that I'm about to subject myself to? Okay. Did you take a look around? Are you sure? Okay. Time code's there. You can skip through the chapter. Here we go. Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. Not gonna look it up. I know the name of this Pokemon. I had one-on-one teams on my freaking Let's Plays. Whew, I got this. Chime Chow. It evolves from Chime Chow. Hold on. I got it. I got it. It'll take a while. Okay, it's based off of the anglerfish. It's got, you know, the light that kind of hangs down and, like, illuminates. Water electric type. I know the name of it. I know the name of it. I know everyone's commenting. Everyone's like, just look it up. No. I know it. I played Gen 3. You know, it's late. It's late. I didn't plan on doing this today. I can't remember every single Pokemon on the top of my head, guys. Okay, let's see here. What is this Pokemon called? All right. I can picture it in my head. Blue Pokemon. Very cheery smile. It's got the light coming down on it. I'm not cutting. I'm not cutting away, and I'm not looking it up. I'm not looking it up. I refuse. Okay. Anglerfish. Is its name in reference to an anglerfish? No, I don't think it is. Oh, no, almost had it. I almost had it. It was on the tip of my tongue. Oh, God, this is rough. This is rough. Come on, Matt. I know so many facts about this Pokemon. I know that there was a trainer that used this Pokemon in the Victory Road in Gen 3 that had an illegal move. There was a version of this Pokemon that had Earthquake. And Earthquake, this Pokemon cannot learn Earthquake in any way except this one trainer had one of these Pokemon that can use Earthquake. I keep wanting to say Luxray for some reason, and Luxray is not that Pokemon. Luxray is the electric cat Pokemon. It's in Gen 4. But why do I want to say Luxray? I feel like my brain is telling me it starts with the letter L. Not Lunatone. That is the right generation, though. I'm getting there. Oh. I think as soon as I started to wonder what this Pokemon is, I'm going to put a time code. All right, I'm going to put a time code in this video. It's going to be down here or up here or somewhere. You could just skip to that time code. This is going to be its own chapter at this point. And you can skip to that time code. You skip this chapter, and I'll get to the Pokemon. But I am going to get this, damn it. I am going to get this. All right, not Luxray. Oh, man. All right. We could do this. All right, we could do this. All right. All right. Chime Chow. Chime Chow's the little anglerfish. No, wait, okay. Chime Chow had two of them. And I think this Pokemon has only one coming out of it. It looks like a whale kind of thing. Oh, this is so frustrating. What is this Pokemon's name? Damn it. Ah. Okay, Matt. All right, you could do this. All right, you could do this. You got a 1450 on the SATs like 12 years ago. You can do this. You can remember this. This is your job, Matt. Come on. Come on. You suck at math, but you know stuff about anime. Pokemon is anime. Just, I gotta relax. I gotta relax here. I just gotta relax, and I gotta just focus in here. Just go into a state of meditation here. What is this Pokemon's name? Come on, brain. Just forget every other Pokemon. I'm going to go silent here for a moment. Come on. Come on. Are you rooting for me? I feel like there's an entire, like, I've been doing this for like the last 5-6 minutes. This is all staying in. This is all staying in. God damn it, it's staying in, all right? It was on the tip of my tongue. I almost had it. Oh! This is hell. I want to look it up so badly. This is hell. All right. Oh, my God. Hey, at least you know, if you're ever on a game show and there's like a lifeline, like a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire kind of situation, and it's like, you know, what's the name that Pokemon? You know what I mean? Like, don't call me, because this is what's gonna happen. You know, this sucks too, because I know Gen 3 fairly well. It's not my favorite generation. Gen 2 is my favorite, but like, I feel like I should know every single Gen 3 Pokemon to an extent. What is this Pokemon's name? We're not even on the last Pokemon. It's Electros, by the way. Electros for the last one for page 1. But we're beyond that. Yeah, page 1 fishes out an Electros. There you go, electric type. It's an eel. Electros. Get it? Haha, very funny. I don't remember the Pokemon at all. But that's not relevant right now. What's relevant? Luxray! Wait, no, it's not Luxray. Damn it, that's the damn cat! Why do I keep thinking it's Luxray? It's not Luxray! Ah! Oh, please. What's that? Who's that Pokemon? Who's that Pokemon? Please, for the love of God and Arceus in heaven. Please. My brain keeps going back to Luxray, so it has to start with an L, right? It has to sound similar to Luxray for my brain to keep doing that. Oh. Chimchar evolves into what? I feel like if I get this right, I'm gonna win $1 million. I'm not going to, but I feel like I'm on some high-stakes game show right now, and it's like, if you can guess the name of this Pokemon, you get one guess. Take all the time you need, but you have one guess. If you get it right, you win $1 million. What is the name of the Pokemon that evolves from Chimchar? I'd be like, okay, it's... Gah! Oh, man. I had these on, so this is one of my favorite Pokemon too. That's the sad part. I like this Pokemon. This is a really cool Pokemon. It's a water electric Pokemon. It's immune to electric attacks. Well, I don't think it's, well, yeah, I think it is. I don't think electric attacks do shit to it. I almost thought I had it, but my brain keeps redirecting to Luxray for some reason. Like, you got it, it's Luxray. I'm like, no, it's not. I'm like, what? Are you sure? I feel like there's a bunch of little tiny SpongeBobs in my brain right now, like running through all of the file cabinets and just being like, it's like, the name, we gotta know the name. What's the name? Just like, it's Luxray. No, it's not. It's not Luxray. All right. Is Ray in the name? I feel like Ray is part of the name. It would make sense because it's like lights up, you know? Ray would make sense. Okay, we can piece this together. I don't know, how long have I been going for this? Probably like 10 minutes at this point? I don't even know. I don't care. I don't care. We're figuring this out. This is the list. This is the list of all the Pokemon. Some I changed. Avalog was a last-minute addition. I'm also thinking the letter B. For some reason, my brain's also going back to that. Like, it starts with the letter B. I don't care. You could skip all this later. I mean, I'm not gonna... I could be a huge dick and add, put 10 ads while this is going on. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. This video... Okay, I've been filming for 42 minutes so far. I'll have to cut some of this stuff out because I flubbed a little bit, but not too much. I'll probably put, I'll tell you what. I'll put 4 ads on this video. 4 ads on the video. 5 if you include the one at the beginning. So 5 ads will be on this video. That's about the number. That's like the number of I put on the video I came out with today. Okay, so when I put out the Void Century video today. Also, by the way, I'm trying to move my brain to other stuff because when you're trying to remember a specific thing, if you spend just all your time thinking about that over and over and over again, it's like your brain's not going to figure it out. So oftentimes what will happen, what will help, is if you go off to think about something else altogether, and then it'll just come to you. All right, so I'll put 5 ads on this video. You can skip all of this. There's a time code. The time code's been up here for like the last 10 minutes. You can skip to this time code. You don't need to be here for this. You don't need to be here for it. I'm not making you sit through this unless you're like listening to this on a like a podcast format, like if you're driving a truck right now. Like, I'm driving a truck across America. Tekking can't figure out what this Pokemon's name is, you know what I mean? Yep. Lantern! It's Lantern! Yes! 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 We did it! We did it! Ah! God! Ah! Ah! We are the champions! Beppo, we did it! It was Lantern! It was Lantern! I'm so happy! Oh my god! It's the greatest moment of my life. It was Lantern! It was Lantern the whole time! We did it! I'll take my $1 million now. I was joking about that earlier, but I feel like no, I'm good. I'm good. The fact that I remembered the name. Oh, I don't know how long that took. I don't know how long that took. All right, well, all right, back to it, I guess. You know, so I could have went with Lantern. I could have just had Drake, page 1, just fish out a Lantern out of the water and be like, there you go, it's an electric type, have fun with it. But, you know, I felt like Electros was better, just because Electros, I don't remember that Pokemon too well. It's not a water type, but it's still, it's an eel, it lives in the water. So, yeah, page 1 just fishes in Electros out of the water. So there you go. So that's page 1's team. We got Garchomp, Kingdra, Gyarados, Gallade, Abomasnow, and Electros. So there you go. So those are the 6 teams. I don't want to go through all of them again. I mean, I could throw them up on the screen there. I'll put them up on the screen in really cool Pokemon fashion so you can see all the teams. If you are a competitive Pokemon player, I would love to see your take on these. I really would. Just to see if maybe, I'm sure all of them suck. I'm sure all of them really, really suck. But if you were going to a competition, like an actual tournament, but if you were going to an actual tournament, okay, and you had to pick from one of these 6 teams, you're going to okay, well, I'm not going to win this tournament, but I don't know, I guess I'll go with this one. So let me know. This was a really fun video to make. Thanks to everybody. This was a really random one that I did, but I like doing stuff like this. It breaks up the monotony every once in a while, you know what I mean? Breaks it up, yeah, it's fun. So anyway, yeah, thanks for watching the video. This will be Tekking101 signing out. Let me know what you think. Later.